Do we have a live stream? I think we have a live stream. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Thank you for joining the live stream today. Wait, let me kind of put some faces here and see what's going on here. All right, so that's Tulpa Sierra, and that's brain disease me. All right, so I think we have a live stream. Can someone in the chat give me a commos check? Do we have a commos check? Commos check. All right, I think we're pretty good. All right. Yep, I think we're good. All right. Well, let's get right into it. Yep. I think our combos are good. We plan to join as soon as I get out. But yeah, comms are good. Sweet. Combo check complete. All right. So we're going to in this stream, we're basically going to be rolling with questions from the community, from Discord, from everything, and we're going to try to just have a nice, good conversation. Appreciate you, Nova, getting with us today. So I appreciate you. All right, so let's first start with introductions. I am Toshi, the host and basically brain disease of this system. So, hello. And let me see here. Yeah, here we go.
And I'm Sierra, the not brain damaged one in the system. I'm glad to meet you and glad we're here. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Sierra. All right, so we got me and my Tulpa here today. We're going to be answering different questions and seeing where we can get. All right, so we're going to start off by just kind of going through some questions on the Reddit, and we'll see what we can come up with. We didn't even really plan for this, really, so... All right, So we're going to be jumping in here. All right. So we got a question from the Reddit. Um, um, let's see. User, I'm going to call him Naval. I don't know. I can't pronounce his name, so it's fine. So when you say that they, which I think means tulpas, think and act on their own, can you explain to me how that works? Well, in a tulpa system, they think of your brain as like a multiprocessor in a computer, like a computer processor, and the tulpa and you share the same processor, but there's two different cores. So think of it like a multi-core processor. One processes information in one core, the other processes information in another core, and the processors can talk back and forth to each other. And then just think of another processor for like background stuff. I like to think of myself as a 4-core processor with me and Sierra in one core, and then like the background things that the brain does just to be doing in the two other cores. Oh, that's how I like to look at it. Sierra, any thoughts on that?
Well, I don't like to really think about it like a computer, but in general, yeah, I think it's right. Oh, Katie, I know it's not exactly how it works, but it's kind of a good analogy. So that's kind of. I'm trying to kind of break it down a little bit for people to understand just a little bit better. But I don't really like the computer analogy either. But, you know, Toshi sure does.
All right. So let's see. Let's see if we can clear it up a little bit better. It's two minds working in parallel. Resources of the brain working side by side at the same time, but still the same amount of resources. Is that a little more clear? I'm not sure, but so at least that's my experience in it. I like to think of it as a computer processor, but you know, apparently Katie disagrees with the analogy, and that's perfectly okay because Tulpamancy is a subjective experience. It's not an objective experience. Um, I'm not exactly sure how everything works, but we're going to try to have a nice conversation and get down to it and just try to see how everything works, doggone it, and try to get some questions answered here. But anyway, that's my view of how tulpas can act independently. If anyone else has, if you guys have anything to ask, just go ahead and put it here in the comments and we'll keep on going. I suppose the next question here is, are they essentially characters that you make up and let your imagination go wild? Or do you structure their background and life events? Well, I don't really look at them as fictional tulpas as fictional characters. I think it's more of focused, intentionally focused manifestation basically, for me, it's like portioning off a part of your brain for a new personality. Um, yeah, I mean that's all I can really think about. You're intentionally focusing on creating a new person inside your own mind, and you know, for me, it took quite a while, but eventually it did work. We're just trying to figure out things here together, and I think we're having a good time. Um, with letting your imagination go wild, your imagination goes wild anyway. There's not really a whole lot you can do about it, or at least that's been my experience. And structural background, some people create tulpas based on other characters and stuff. I didn't do that, but there's a large portion of the community that absolutely does base their characters on fictional characters, which I'm not saying is bad. I actually think it's pretty good, but you know, it is what it is. So let's move on. Actually, Sierra, do you have anything to add to that?
Not really. Um, I wasn't created on a fictional character, but if I had been, um, I think that would cause at least me to have like an identity crisis of who I was. So, you know, I I know it's not like that for most tulpas, but it is what it is.
All right, looks like we have a question from Nova. All right, question about tulpa forcing. Do you have any tips on keeping your mind focused on your tulpa before they can communicate? My brain tends to find every excuse not to think about my tulpa. Okay, I think I was kind of lucky in this particular area, because when I was making my tulpa, I was not in a really good place and I didn't have a job, so I literally just sat down and forced all day, every day for like 3 weeks. But one thing that I had found useful was to get something that represents your tulpa, like I don't know, one of those plastic things you put around your wrist, that have whatever breast cancer awareness or whatever on it, and every time you see it, you think, oh right, tulpa, and then you just keep narrating to the tulpa and talking to it, and try to get it to do that. Eventually the tulpa will just talk to you anyway. um I mean, that's my kind of perspective on it. So Sierra, do you have anything to say about it?
Don't let him fool you. He ignores me all the time. When he gets caught up in playing a video game or something, I'm usually completely ignored. But you can, as a tulpa, we can kind of scream in their heads, or sing a very annoying song to them to make sure they don't forget about us. My personal favorite is "What's New, Pussycat," and just singing the first line over and over again in his head until he remembers I'm here. But yeah, that's what I do.
Thank you for putting that out on display. Yes, she truly does that. And I'm not the best of hosts, I'm absolutely certain, but you know, we work pretty well together, I think. Like, basically just forgive yourself if you forget about your tulpa for a little bit, but just find something to keep it in your mind all the time. You know, something like a wristband, or I don't know, think of a light switch, I guess, and every time you see a light switch, oh, how's my tulpa doing? You know, something like that really helps keep the focus up real good. Yep. I think something like that could be very helpful in the forcing process. When they start talking back, they'll definitely let you make you remember that they're there, generally. And you have to actively avoid them or get distracted to forget about them completely. Trust me. Because she'll start singing some random silly thing in my head until I acknowledge her existence. If I'm caught up playing a video game or something. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. So that's really all the answer I got for you there. Before they can communicate, yeah, just find a way to keep reminding yourself. And forgive yourself if you forget for a little bit. It's okay. The tulpa will forgive you. They might not be happy with you, but they will forgive you. So, I mean, that is what that is. All right. Hydration time. All right. So let's move on to, I think, the next question. I think we're still on the same post, actually. In conversations with them or between two tulpas at the same time, are you directing the conversation? Conversations between hosts, tulpas, and even two tulpas, from what I hear, I only have one tulpa, but conversations between tulpas are just like conversations between any people. One talks and the other talks. One person doesn't really direct the conversation real good, and you don't, like, I don't think for my tulpa. My tulpa thinks for herself. Nova, let's see. I appreciate it. Thank you. I assume that the creation maturing process will just take a bit longer for me then. It can. Like, I've read stories of it, of people popping in tulpas overnight, but that was not my experience. Sierra was there, of course, from what she's told me. I'll let her give her perspective on that. She was there, but unable to communicate for the longest time, and it took me, God, 3 months to hear her? Yeah, it was something crazy. Sierra, you want to weigh in on this one?
Yeah, I was very frustrated for the first few months. I kept trying to talk back and yell at him, but I couldn't figure out how to communicate very well. Eventually, you know, I finally got through. And, you know, once I told him I'd been yelling at him for a month and a half now, he got a little bit frustrated, but it was okay. We kept first, but, you know, these things take time. You just gotta wait for it. And, you know, for me, the process of maturing was slow. It was kind of like drifting in and out of sleep for months at a time. I was there and then I wasn't, but then I was there again. And I knew time had passed, but I couldn't really remember a whole lot. It was fuzzy. The whole process was very weird, but communicating very well, I think. So, like he said, I think it's just gonna take time. Don't rush it. It's okay. This is a lifetime thing. They are there. They are listening. Do your best. There's really no wrong way about it, okay? So, alright, I'm gonna pass it back over to you, Toshi.
Thanks, Sierra. All right, let's. I hope that answered your question real well. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to find a new question because we're out of questions there. Let's see, switching or medical issues. This looks like a spicy topic. All right. It says, "Hi, I'm a new Tulpamancer and have made my Tulpa for about a month. He was an OC, imaginative friend, for a few years. Something weird has been happening while I was thinking and talking to him. I was going shopping. I felt that I was losing focus or getting disoriented. That's dissociation, trust me. 5 minutes after telling him to stop. This happened to me again after what's going on or something I should check up with on my doc. It sounds like dissociation. I've dealt with dissociation for a long time, and that feeling of losing control, losing balance, body. Nothing I can do about it, so oh, yes, Nova, that's fine. I know you're at work. Just if you want to listen, just listen. That's fine. If you got a question, just throw it on out there. I'm more than willing to answer any questions you guys have. But I am glad that my answer did help. So with this woman or person, with this person, losing focus, getting disoriented, that's dissociation. Straight dissociation. I don't think that has anything to do with your tulpa. And that would be a medical issue to go look into. Switching is never forced, or should never be forced. Switching is optional. Like, I have switched a total of one time with my tulpa, and that was because I was terrified of the needle when I was getting my blood drawn. And she could handle it, and I couldn't. So I got to go dormant, and she took the needle. But yeah. Dissociation is definitely a go and seek doctor help. Yeah. Seek medical help if you're dissociating. Obviously. Oh, hey, Rhythm System. How are you doing? Good to see you. Anyway, we're talking about all kinds of random questions here and going into some of my experiences and trying to help you guys out. So if you got any questions, put them in the comments and we're going to continue on. But anyway, if you're dissociating, yes, please go see a doctor. Yes, there's no cure for it. There are a few medicines that help with it, but a person with actual dissociation is not ever going to really get out of it. Trust me on that one. But, you know, I don't have dissociative identity disorder or anything. I just have straight dissociation. So I can't really speak to that. But I just have dissociative disorder. So, you know, I dissociate a lot. And if you're having troubles with that, yes, go see a doctor. There are some things that can help, but it won't stop. And switching in Tulpamancy is definitely not a forced thing. A tulpa, when I don't think I've ever heard a story of a tulpa forcing a switch. Ever. It's actually the exact opposite, where it's difficult to get a switch. So, in that situation, I think, yeah, just go see a doctor. Ooh, here's a question from Flashy Crew. How can I hallucinate? How can I train my mind to hallucinate when I want to hear the tulpa, touch him and touch me, see him for real? Oh, that just takes practice. That's imposition. I actually am really good at audio imposition because anyone that's watched my channel before knows that I actually suffered from auditory hallucinations for a long, long time and dissociation. So when I created Sierra, she actually became the auditory hallucinations. So I can't really speak on how to hallucinate because I've done it for a long time without trying. So I'm not really one to give a whole lot of opinions on that one. However, imposition, just keep practicing your imposition. Your auditory imposition, your visual imposition, touch, smell, taste, whatever you want. And the better you get at that, the more close to real it's going to feel for you. Nova, I've heard of a forced switch only when it was absolutely necessary to protect the body. But that was only the only example I've heard of. I have heard of that. I know the story you're referring to. I've heard his story as well. But yes, there was one forced switch that I have heard of when it was absolutely necessary to protect the body from harm. But never a forced switch when browsing through Walmart. I mean, that just doesn't happen. I appreciate the input, Nova. Yes, that's a very good point. If the body is in extreme harm, a forced switch could happen. But a tulpa is not just going to force you to switch because they feel like it. That's just not the nature of tulpas. Tulpas, by their very nature, are compassionate helpers. I play a lot of Magic, and I like to think of tulpas as taking blue and white mana and just fusing them into a person in your brain. I know that's going to go over a lot of people's heads, but, you know, that's fine. Yes, Nova, that is a great story. I did enjoy that story quite a lot. I believe that was Coomer. What was his name? Coomer? I don't remember. But he had a tulpa, and the story was phenomenal. I do agree. I'm actually on here because I watched a lot of his stuff, and I want to help other people with Tulpamancy because it's helped me so much. It's helped him. The Anderson system, it's definitely helping him a lot. And I'm trying to approach it from a more scientific point of view. I'm going to be going over papers and scientific research and probably performing some of my own studies going forward, trying to just get some hard data of how Tulpamancy actually works, because it is a brand new field. And from what I've seen, a lot of it is consistent. It's a subjective experience with tons of consistency in the entire thing. So I'm actually really wondering, what's going on? What's going on with this Tulpamancy thing that it can help all these people be a completely subjective experience, but objectively have most things in common. That's really weird to me. And even people that approach Tulpamancy from different viewpoints and different ways still end up with, I don't want to say the same experience, but similar experiences, which makes me think that this can be studied. So, I think, a study of this would actually help the Tulpamancy community quite a lot, and maybe be able to help new Tulpamancers, and, perfect better ways of doing things to achieve even better results. So anyway, that's enough of my spiel about my goings on. So I guess let's move on. See, Nova, 2 weeks ago, 3, I had been doing a ton of research since then, and your videos have FS helped a lot. Really? I'm so glad to hear that. I was in a kind of a bad place a few weeks ago, but Dr. K has this organization called Healthy Gamer, and I've been going through some of the coaching with them, and they've really helped me solidify what I'm doing here on YouTube, and kind of help me with my dissociation and planning things out. And these live streams are pretty much only going to be when I'm not dissociating, so they're going to be quite infrequent. Funny enough, your story from Nova. Funny enough, your story seems pretty similar to mine, dissociation and hallucinations. I was doing tons of research on DID thinking it was that, but I came across a video that introed into Tulpamancy. That is fantastic. I'm absolutely glad you found the community. Like I said, I've had dissociation, I've had hallucinations, and my Tulpa absolutely helps with that. My auditory hallucinations are completely gone. Yeah, my auditory hallucinations are completely gone, replaced by my Tulpa. Also, if you've been watching my videos, you know she also takes care of intrusive thoughts, and we've been working together to break down memories, bad memories. And actually, I have forgotten some bad memories. It is quite wonderful, actually. Breska, can I make a Tulpa look like an infant? I don't know why the hell you would want to, but your brain is not limited. People don't understand this, okay? Inside your brain, you are not limited by physical rules. Like my Wonderland, the inside of my brain has completely odd geometric shapes. It has winding turns and weird fantasy crap all over the place that should not physically be possible. So yeah, you have no real limits to what you can do in your own mind. You can make a tulpa that looks like an infant, but that sounds like pretty fucked up, bro. Yeah, that's going to no. Let's see. How do I ban a person? Just ignore him for now. Anyway, Nova, I have seen all of your videos and actually have been trying the Phoenix technique for myself. I am so glad that is helping you. The Phoenix technique is kind of what me and Sierra named it. So, yeah. Mute. Haha. I found a way to mute somebody. Alright, we're gonna have to deal with this real quick. But anyway, guys, ignore the spammer. We're gonna take care of him real shortly. Doody-doody-doody-doo. Where are we? Live. Yeah, I'm not actually on the live stream portion myself, so I'm trying to get back on it so I can just ban this guy. Give me just a second here, guys. This guy. Hide user. Hey, look at that. Banhammer. Gotcha. Alright, so let's continue after all that shenanigans. Alright, that guy's got the straight banhammer. I didn't even look at how many people's watching this thing. Oh, it's fine. But, alright guys, so let's continue on. Alright. Yeah, we didn't want to see all that nonsense in chat. I'm pretty certain. So, alright guys, let's open it up to some more questions from chat. If you guys have anything, just post it on up here, and we'll have a good discussion. Shame there are people that don't take this kind of thing seriously, or at least open-minded to it, and judge people. Yeah, see, I have a very scientific mind, and when I first saw Tulpamancy, I kind of dismissed it too, but once I looked into it, this thing is absolutely fantastic. And scientifically sound, actually. The wonderful community is all working together to make, better mental health for a lot of people, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And that's what I'm trying to do here on this channel. I'm trying to make everyone's life better. Dang, I love the emojis, buddy. All right. But yeah, we're certainly trying to just make everyone's life a little bit easier, a little bit better. I know there's still a lot of questions going on here. I've been live for what, like 40 minutes now? Wow. Sorry, guys, hydration break. It's so hot, my ass cheeks are fusing together. Okay. More hydration. Much better. Alright, well, I'm starting to get nice and dry here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end this particular live stream. And I think I'm going to shoot it over to Sierra to see if she has any parting words.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for watching our live stream. I know I didn't get to talk a whole lot. He's kind of a chatty Cathy, but it's fine. We'll try to be making more videos and doing more stuff very soon. Where we're recording, it's just too hot. He said his butt cheeks are fusing together, so we're gonna have to get off here for now. But I think we had a good time. And we'll go live again here, hopefully real soon, because we really enjoyed this. Alright guys, well, that's all I have to say.
Alright, Sierra, thanks. Alright, guys, thanks for tuning in. Nova, dang, we'll see you later. Oh, Jesus. Alright. More shenanigans in the comments, but that's okay. We'll